It was the voice of Manu Dibango, Papa Wemba, and Angela Kijo. Amigo, one of our old-time favorites. Now, this is a classic. And, folks, this is how I would like to say that we welcome to a very special edition of the program, ASHFORD GARLEY Live on Bridge Radio Africa, as we come to you from Detroit, Michigan. Oh man, it's extremely hot today, so you might just want to make sure the air conditioning is working, right? That's right, Papa Wemba, Manu Dibango, Angela Kijo, Amil, one of my all-time favorites, blowing the dust of the old days, this beautiful Friday night. You know, we're not usually here on Fridays, but by the request of some of the business people, you know, we are here tonight. And just so you know, this program has been sponsored. And we want to get straight into it as always. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to say hello and welcome to another special edition of ASHFORD GARLEY Live on this beautiful Friday night. I'd like to say hi to Mr. Bill Carlson, Junior Greer, James Blamo, Josepha Shalfamitz, May Carter, and also see tonight Alvin Perez in the building, Abraham Newland, Sylvester Constance is also in the building tonight. And as soon as we get a signal, you know, from our special guest, Mr. Phil Woods, we're going to bring him live on the screen. In the meantime, folks, make yourselves feel at home. The week ends today. I know you have all kinds of plans. So, hey, just hit the share button, share the video. We might discuss something that you might be interested in. You never know. So, hey, this is your home, and it feels great to have you on. As always, Marcel Riggs is in the building, Siaka, Siaka George is also in the building. Mr. Francis Zeze is in the building as well, folks. Welcome, and let's together have a great time tonight. This is yours truly, the brother who doesn't eat iron, but he's definitely stronger than the lion. That's what they call him, the giant Ashford Garley, the now you know man. Welcome to the show. And I see the Tawa Toa is watching from Dupero, Liberia. And I also see Jefferson Kekula is watching as well. May M.A.A.K. Ashford, I am your virus sanitized. I'm your virus sanitized with me with the beats. I like that. Mr. D Flow Flomo is in the building, and he's the brain behind the Liberia Destiny Debaters. One of the hardest working brothers here in the media, based out of Minnesota, is in the building tonight. All right. And I see mate Emin AK is watching from Maryland. One of our regulars, Ralph P. Williams, is in the building from the Iowa. Welcome to the show. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to bring up close to the camera Mr. Phil Woods of the Liberia Shippers Association of the diaspora, and they're also based out there in Liberia as well. Mr. Woods, we'd like to say welcome to Brace Radio Africa.
Thank you, ASHFORD Garley. Thank you.
It's been a long time, my man. How's everything?
My man, we're struggling and trying to survive, keep our heads above sea level, bro.
Okay, Mr. Woods, tell us a little bit about Mr. Woods. What does he do, and what brings you in tonight?
Well, thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Woods is a Liberian entrepreneur. Currently, I'm based in the city of Brotherly Love, that's Philadelphia. I've been here for like 10 years. Before coming to the United States of America, I was a businessman in Monrovia, Liberia, and I had the opportunity to serve as the Secretary General for the Liberian Business Association. Before joining the Business Association, I served as the mouthpiece for the Liberia Contractor Association, the Federation of Building Trade Association, which we organized to advocate on behalf of Liberian tradesmen. And when we got to the Liberian Business Association, we had the opportunity to advocate for Liberians in all walks of life in the business sector. So that is something that is part of us. We got to America and found ourselves into the shipping business. And a little bit information on the shipping business. The shipping business became popular when refugee Liberians in the United States took advantage of the opportunity to be able to cater to their family people back home. When I mean cater, America has a lot of opportunities. So everybody in Liberia, almost everybody in Africa wants to come to the United States. And when you come to the United States, you want to tap into the opportunities here to be able to be a blessing to your people back home. So the diaspora Liberian or the refugee Liberians, mainly, they made shipping popular. Before then, There were just few permanent guys that were involved in shipping to Liberia. That was the Port family, Willie Knuckles, and you can name it. Just few persons were sending barrels and stuff to Liberia. But when the diaspora Liberians got to the United States after the 2003, or what we call World War, or whatever Charles Taylor regime, they made shipping to Liberia very popular and was a blessing. And when I was serving as Secretary General for the Liberian Business Association, under the leadership of Honorable Samuel A. Mitchell, he made it one of his priorities to capture Ken Johnson Road, to allow it to be a Liberian business network, to secure all those tools. That was his plan, that Ken Johnson Road be exclusively for Liberian businesses, trying Liberian businesses. And there's evidence that almost all the Liberians that are in the diaspora, America especially, when they got to Liberia, they made sure they went to Ken Johnson Road and they secured its toll. So Ken Johnson Road was a basic bombing street. But I know today is no longer what it was 10 years ago. And there's a reason for that, for it being what it is today. So that's one of the reasons why we are here today, to talk about the disrespect from the Liberian government, what the president said. It was just the opposite. According to him, when he met with the president, we had met with the first Liberian diaspora group. He said, look, we want you to come home and do business. We don't want you to be spectators to your own economy. But where they're driving us now, we are going to be total spectators. So that's why we are touched today to be on your platform. So we want to thank you for the opportunity.
Now, first off, we want you to please tell us about the Liberia Shippers Association. What is the Liberia Shippers Association?
Well, the Liberia Shippers Association was founded a few years back. And one of the main reasons for which it was founded was because of the disadvantage that was taking over Liberians shipping to Liberia. Liberian shipping to Liberia contribute a whole lot to the economy of Liberia. We used to send tons of containers. But today, or a few years ago, the number just started to drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. Now, I want to challenge the Freeport. I want to challenge the Liberian government. I want to challenge the Bureau of Customs. And I'll be very personal, very, very personal, because the key players into this agency are not strangers. They are people that we know. They are not strangers. They are not foreigners. They are our peer groups, our crowd of boys. Most of them are people that are in the diaspora. They understand what it means to be in America. They understand what it means to be in America, to be able to send something back home. They know. But these guys, since they have the opportunities to be in government, they decide to be complete strangers to what is ongoing in America. They behave more like people that had never traveled outside of Liberia to know what it is to be in the diaspora, to be able to fetch one barrel, to be able to send one barrel, to lock up a barrel and send it back home. They pretend like they don't know. So that's why we formed the Shippers Association.
Now, you talk about being personal. What is it that you're going through with the government, especially the Freeport or the LRA, that you're not able to reach them and settle things within house? Why you have to take to the radio?
It's because you see, we have a situation, and I'll give you a typical example, because in 2006, I was very much involved in civil society. 2004, 2005, 2006, Liberia was coming from war. So there were a lot of expectation. And I personally, one of the expectations I had was Liberian from the diaspora should have the opportunity. And I'm on record. We petitioned the national legislature under the speakership of the late Honorable George Dewey. And one of the accounts were, let this government collect a database of all Liberians, professional Liberians in the diaspora, so that they can be able to come home so we can move Liberia forward. Some of us were thinking that Liberians were like Ghanaians. After having 10, 14 years of civil war, we thought by then we would have learned, love each other, and have Liberia at heart. That's what some of us thought. So when we were making those calls, we were making those appeals, we thought Liberians had changed. We thought the war had changed our mindset, the way we do things. But today, some of us, we are disappointed. Because the very people that we were considering heroes, thinking that they coming from America now with master's degrees and PhDs, same we were fighting war, we were in Liberia, and they were in the diaspora, gaining more education, gaining more experience. We thought they were going to come back home and transform Liberia. But I can tell you this for free. Liberia is worse than what it was 20 years ago. Because any country that don't have its citizen at heart, that don't regard its citizen, that country is bound to be unstable. And that's what is happening in Liberia today. Liberia is not a stable country.
You say Liberia is not a stable country, but yet you still do business with Liberia. And I'm pretty sure you've been very successful at what you do in terms of shipping things to Liberia. You are saying Liberia is going backwards, and you even went further to say the president said you would not be spectators in your own economy. So now my question to you is what the Freeport is doing, what the LRA is doing that is not in your favor, which of course you're anchored about.
Okay, the first thing here, the first disappointment here is we talk about the 100 years concession the Liberian government signed with Fastone. We all talk about it, that Fastone was sold, our land was sold, it was sold for 1 cent, it was sold there. We had all that we could say condemning the Fastone concession. We, the modern days, this generation, our generation, we complain about that Tottenham did this, Barclay did this, and blah, blah, blah. They sold Fastone for little or nothing, and blah, 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 and what have you. Now, if we were saying these things and we have become men and we are in authority, you have a company called APN Terminal. The money that was spent on APN Terminal didn't come from the Liberian government. It didn't come from the APN Terminal. It didn't come from the American government. The money came from the World Bank. That money was intended to build the capacity of the Freeport of Monrovia so that the economy of Liberia can boom after the war. So they put millions of dollars into that project, brought it to what it is today. The government, before this government, went and signed a bogus concession, mortgaging the Freeport of Monrovia, which was considered as the gateway to Africa, gateway to Liberia. That was what we know Freeport to be back in the days. When we were coming up, it was an advertisement all on radio and TV. The Freeport of Monrovia was the gateway to the Liberian economy, and was evidence. We saw it. We saw how trade was booming in Liberia. We saw people coming from Guinea. We saw people coming from Mali. We saw people coming from all those places through transshipment goods coming from Monrovia. Now, the modern Liberians, under Ellen leadership, they took that Freeport and mortgaged it to the APN Terminal. This is what they did. It is true that a company like APN Terminal will make some money from storage and other pool handling charges and what have you. But because the guys in authority, Ellen Johnson and all of those that was responsible for the Freeport of Monrovia, on the board, in the legislature, other places, they connive and they mortgage the APN Terminal, they mortgage the Freeport to APN Terminal. They have storage charges. And at the time, before we got to where we are, that was when the Liberians in the diaspora were booming the economy of Liberia. You could go on Ken Johnson Road, anything you want, you could find it for little or nothing. Mattresses, television, whatever you can think about that people will buy cheap overseas. That people will get anybody here free that will take to Liberia and sell it for little or nothing. Because they mortgage the Freeport, and I think it's a conspiracy to keep us poor. That's what I think. It's a conspiracy to keep the Liberian people poor. Liberia is not a poor country. Someone yet put them up. Oh, Liberia is the poorest country. We are poor because of wicked leaders. All the guys that are masquerading in the political venue of Liberia right now that are rich today, that run luxury and what have you, they were poor, like some of us. But since they got in government, they have made the government to be for them to seek only their interest. So this is one of the things that they did. And I will be very personal, like I said. Let them come out tomorrow and say I'm lying, so they can bring the evidence, prove wrong. Those jokers got up. They took the APN terminal, took the Freeport, gave it the APN terminal. Because I don't even see why the APN terminal had brought that is compared to that they had developed the Freeport tool compared to any put in the West Africa region. I can't even see it because they don't have any logistics, they don't have any cream, they don't have no equipment, nothing whatsoever. They just got a few old stuff that can hardly perform. So what they do here is that they got this what you call port handling charges. Then they got storage. When they started first, they gave 7 days for any shipment going to Liberia. They gave 7 days to process your shipment to get it clear from the Freeport. When they realized that Liberians were on top of that game, clearing our containers on time and what have you, they said, no, I think the guys are growing, they're going too fast. So let's slow them down. Instead of charging $10 a day for the first few days and $12 or $13 the second, few days, they hike it from $10 to $20. Before the 2011 election, Ellen's second election, I believe what they did, Ellen and her gangsters, they went back to the APN terminal and took some money and to the APN terminal where you can hike your prices up, your storage rate. Then they started to carry that storage rate from $10, from $15, from $20 to $35 to $40. As we speak today, if you are continuing gas in a port, the country we call a poor country, the poorest country, if you are continuing to get to the port and you don't clear your container maybe after 20 days time, because of some of the challenges that they have set, the senior Liberian government official from the LRA, what the guy named Scott Samoa, because he's been there for a good while now. All the challenges, the bottom of the challenges they set for Liberians to bring us down. If you don't meet up with those things, if you cannot cross those challenges, in a certain period of time, your container gets stuck. They would ask you to pay $72 a day. Now, you say the country is the poorest country in Africa, but you're charging locals that don't have United States dollars. ASHFORD is so sad to know the reality of what's going on in Liberia. There are Liberians that have lost their properties. They have lost their farmland. They have lost their houses. They have lost their land to banking institutions. Because since government cannot provide jobs for the people, since we don't have a wide private sector, some people take the risk. They take their property to the bank. They credit $5,000, $10,000 so that they can be able to turn it around. And one of the quickest ways to turn things around in Liberia, since the market is very narrow and small, is to either go to China or come to America. You buy your stuff with the expectation that you take it to Liberia and be able to sell it to be able to pay back the bank. When those people come, they buy that stuff, whether in Liberia or in America, the challenges are so enormous to the point that when they get back to Liberia, they lost everything. If you have the opportunity, I can display some pictures right now on your screen so the Liberian people can see the wickedness of those that we got in your territory called leaders today. These guys have set up all kind of drag to bring us down to the point now that when your container get there, you cannot free your container is stuck. After you have paid the freight, you have paid all the charges, pay for the container to get to Liberia. In your own country, you cannot free your container. The container gets stuck to the port. They divide it in the name of auction. Those guys are all criminals. Because according to criminals, because most of the guys in the territory in Liberia live in the United States. There is no Liberian that live abroad that don't know the procedure for auction. We all go to auction. These guys are old enough to know how to conduct a fair and just auction. But what they do, they see our containers, they keep it there. After 30 days, 90 days, they share among themselves. Or if you are fortunate to lay your hand on by the time you open that container, everything. It means that if you ever credit that money from the bank, you are lose your investment. Whatever you use as collateral to the bank is going in the breeze. So that's the kind of game our brothers and sisters in government today are playing with us.
Now, Mr. Woods, like you regularly said, you live here in these United States of America, and if you were to ship something to the U.S. and they would give you weeks, perhaps a month to free your consignment. And in the event where you fall short on that, they have the option to auction the goods. The same way it works in Liberia. Don't they give you a time frame as to when your goods come in, then they will give you time to, let's say, pay. You got 7 days, and if you don't pay, there will be increment on the storage fees. Now, in the event where you can't come up with the money, then of course they are left with no alternative.
That's true. That's true. That's true. In every system, if you cannot catch up with the timeline, you are a victim. You understand what I'm saying? But in Liberia, it is arranged in a way that you must fail. Because if the government know the country is a poor country, so if they are signing a concession, they should take into consideration their citizens. They should take into consideration their citizens' capacity. I ship all over the world. I ship all over the world. The experience we have in Liberia, I haven't heard about it in any other country. I ship almost all over the world. I ship in Asia. I ship to almost all the African countries near us there. Trading or export to Guinea is like this. To Sierra Leone is like this. To all these countries is like that. Only Liberia have a situation. Now, let me tell you another evil of these guys. Evilness of our brothers in authority. The guys that are in government today that were living in the United States. How many of them could ride a 2014 car? You know some of them that in government today are riding $50,000 car. How many of them were in America that were riding 2015 or current vehicles? How many of them that bought car with their own money, even they took car note, that were riding current car? How many of them? Hardly. They were all year riding the same old 10, 15, 20 years car. Now, a country like Liberia that have been producing rubber for time immemorial, that can't even produce Ganga ball, tennis ball. I think we saw Ganga ball. You and I saw Ganga ball play. I haven't seen Ganga ball. So it means our children, I don't even have the skill to make Ganga ball out of the rubber we have. We had the opportunity back in the days. But today, you hardly can see Ganga ball. The country cannot produce Ganga ball. But here is the government telling its citizens that they should not bring into the country a car more than 10 years old. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? You who are in America, probably going to school or working 2, 3 jobs and couldn't afford to buy a current car. Now you're going back to Africa. God bless you. You came to the West to gain education, to go back home to help your people. Instead of you helping your people, you go back home and make life unbearable. How Liberia will be stable? How you think Liberia will be stable in such a situation? How you think Liberia will be stable? Everybody pissed off, everybody frustrated, everybody complaining, everybody just crying. Not everyone else can go in government. Not everyone else want to work for government. No, I don't want to work for government. People that know me all the days of my life, I've been into the private sector, either doing some hustle to survive, legitimate hustle. There are other people that like us that were in the private sector, but since the government have put them out of business, the only option they have now is to fight to get into government. And the whole idea of people going to government library is not to serve, it's to rip the people off. People that you know that were poor more than you and I. Today they are wealthy people, rich people. Who in the world is able to ride luxurious cars? Not business people, not government officials. How many government officials you see in America riding Lamborghini and riding Hummer Jeep and riding Ferrari and Porsche? Those cars are intended for celebrities. They are intended for business people. But on the contrary, in Liberia, only government officials can ride $50,000 car, $40,000 car. So isn't that evil to the highest level? Then you want somebody like me, a level-headed man, to be excited, to be happy?
But Mr. Woods, you have the contact to Samoa, you have the contact to Thomas Dolnine, and of course the managing director of the Freeport of Monrovia. I saw a few posts from you that the government of Liberia, especially the Freeport, are trying to put you people out of business. And my thing is, what has been your conversation with the managing director, the Samoa, the LRA, to come to a compromise? Because the Shippers Association is a very big organization that pay taxes to Liberia, and it's because of the thing that you ship to Liberia. Those are some of the things that keep you afloat. So, what have been your conversation with them?
Those guys are very they are how am I going to call them? They are not patriotic people. They are not patriotic Liberians. The reason why I say so is because they collecting the revenues. They know the sources from where the revenues are coming from. They know. But Liberians, we just don't respect each other and we just don't like each other. They don't regard us to be anybody. Now, one day, Thomas Dona or Samoa, who is the custom commissioner, or Thomas Dona, my friend, who is the director general for the LRA, one day said, oh, let's look at the group of Liberians that are in the diaspora that are pumping into this economy 15% of our revenue or 20% of our revenue. Let's reach out to them to know what their challenges are. The only person that did that when he was custom commissioner was Dixon Sibo. Dixon Sibo, before he became a lawmaker, he served as custom commissioner. Dixon Sibo made sure he and his team, they visited us. They asked us what were our problems, what were challenges in those situations that we were faced with, that were harming our operation, to shipping things to Liberia and what have you. They made it a business. They came from all Philadelphia, Rhode Island, all the places that were pumping revenue into Liberia. So I respect somebody like that. But all Samoa does is to bad mouth us. All Samoa does is he look out to be nobody. All they want to do is to satisfy their political leaders. When they know the government cannot generate revenue from somewhere else, they say, let's go to the Freeport, there where we can get revenue from. And what they have done in recent time, that is very disrespectful. How in the world you will have a pre-shipment company like BVAC that have been serving you and serving the shippers? Though we are not all excited by the BVAC relationship, but we prefer to deal with BVAC than to deal with our own brothers and sisters back home. And I will tell you why.
And now bring us up to speed for the sake of the audience. What is BVAC?
All right. BVAC is a company, it's a pre-inspection company, pre-shipment inspection company that was hired by the Liberian government. Not this government. It had been the government before. But before BVAC, when I was not even into the shipping business, there was another company called SGS that was a pre-shipment company, pre-shipment inspection company that was serving before BVAC in the picture. I think BVAC been in the picture for like 20 years or so. I don't know actually when they started. There have been a lot of challenges we have had with BVAC, but we prefer the challenges from BVAC than the challenges from our own people. And let me just tell you one of the instances. The government hired BVAC to pre-inspect every export to Liberia. BVAC has a right to quote a laptop, a television, or a vehicle, or whatever that is being shipped, to make sure the government get its just revenue. When BVAC ship these things, BVAC go to work and do all the analysis and give you your bill and say, all right, this is what you're supposed to pay to the government of Liberia. Our brothers and sisters that are there.
So in other words, BVAC is responsible to inspect your goods before they are shipped to.
Yeah, before they are shipped, before they are loaded, BVAC do inspect the goods. Okay. So while the goods sailing to Liberia, BVAC will then come out with our invoice to determine what you're supposed to pay to the Liberian government. They will do a good job. But because of the evilness of Liberia and because we are filled with corrupt attitude in us, because BVAC don't get them much chance to steal or to rip us off. Because if BVAC said that 5,000 by right, yes, will go to the bank, you pay your 5,000, your goods can you get it up. But when the revenue is going directly into government coffers, then the people in authority cannot steal. So they came out with a scheme that they will do reassessment. Now, why would you have a man doing reassessment when first of all he's not trained, he's not aware, he don't know how to analyze goods, He's sitting in Monrovia. He don't see the goods. He never saw the goods before they were put into the container. Beaver say 500 is the custom duty for that car. The man said no, 500 small because he heard the name of the BMW. He not taking into consideration the wear and tear on that BMW. He not taking into consideration the damage. Some of the cars are not, clean cars, salvage vehicles. We buy these cars and cheap, cars with the expectation of going to Liberia to create jobs for our brothers and sisters that are auto repair guys. You know what I mean? You buy the accident car, you create job. By the time you get to Liberia, the garages, you take it to the garage, they have it repair. You got a little good looking car for your life, So these guys design another strategy to do reassessment. The 500 they will take it straight to 1,500. So at the end of the day, if you ever say your budget, though you don't know what it is, but Beaver has already told you that this is your budget or this is your bill to go and clear your container. By the time you look, the 5,000 bill that Beaver gave you is going to $10,000. Where can you find money from? Even if you go to credit money, now you are anticipating paying $5,000, then you got to go credit $10,000 now with 25% interest. Your bill going to $12,500. By the time you put your container out of the port, you can't pay the bill money because you got to mortgage your cargo now to those you borrow the money from with the expectation that, I will sell one or two items. What the market in Monrovia, the market is so narrow. You look, your goods stay with money changer, you lost your investment. Almost all the Liberians that I know, first actually when I was in Liberia, when people used to talk about the evilness in Liberia, I thought they were lying. I used to be on their back. Oh, my man, come on, man. I thought we Liberians who were good people. Now we got evil heart. Almost all the Liberians that carry that goods to Liberia, they come back from there broke. They come back from there mortgaging that goods to money changers and other people. They come back frustrated. I in the shipping business, I facilitate a lot of shipment. So when people go, you think they come back with good news. They come, oh, my man, we're not easy. They tell you that story, you say you're frustrated. That's how evil these guys are. They are not creative. They're not innovative. These guys have not changed anything in government since the past 30 years. Nothing has changed. Finance ministry, nothing has changed. Nothing has become better to say, yes, the government has designed a program, a strategy, or a policy that will lift the people up.
So, Mr. Woods, what was the reason for the government to decide to do reassessment after the passage from BVAC? And then you go to Liberia, for example, you tell BVAC, I got two boxes of shoes here. Come to find out when you get to Liberia, you see 50 boxes of shoes. And all the time they say, what, we're going to have to start to do reassessment now. So why don't you think that is right?
Well, the reassessment is done in the absence of the container being open. The reassessment is done. Let me tell you something, Ashwa. We are not poor, but because our mentality, that's why we are poor. And because we are wicked, that's why people are poor. People want to pay legitimate taxes to the government. The government would have made more money or can make more money if they are just relaxed with their people. And if the people can just prioritize their citizens for a little bit, that country will be stable, that country will move, that country will boom. But people that run into power, they don't go there to serve. They go there to rip the country apart, to rip the people off. See, all the poor brothers that have gone to government now, they are wealthy. They are rich. Where did they get the money from? So they design all these strategies. Right now, the strategy they have designed now, unceremoniously, to show you how disrespectful the government is. Very disrespectful. Samoa, what the guy named Thomas Do now, the job we are other than that, they ain't got no regard for the Liberian people. How you will hire a company or you're working with a company that was serving your partner, your own citizen in the diaspora, you got BVAC. If you want to terminate BVAC contract, you want them, you can inform your people to say, German, in the next 60 days, BVAC contract will be terminated, and this will be the new procedure. This will be the new operating procedure. You can ship your container without BVAC, and this is S, Y, and Z you have to do. What they're doing now is to catch on aware. DR container destination inspection. That is a container that BVAC didn't inspect. Probably you in a rush, you just take your things, you put it in a container, you take it to Liberia. The first thing they have a penalty for that. Now, even if you removing the penalty, inform your people, right? Look, The government of Liberia is very disrespectful to the citizen. They got no regard.
Now,
Can you imagine the South Samoan who came to school here and they know very well how the Americans or the white people can treat their people? Every day we receive communication from the U.S. Custom. Anything the U.S. Custom is doing. Just the fact that we are connected to shipping, we get circulars, we get information, what they're going to be doing. In the next 30 days, this will be the new regulation. March now in Liberia, they just sent me a circular to tell me that by the end of July, there will be a $50 charges for some easy. So you get prepared, you are aware. But the government of Liberia, no. They just send on Monrovia radio and just talk blah, 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 talking about Thai stock. How you will be, you custom.
Philip, you just mentioned DI, and I was on your page earlier, and I want you to please bring us up to speed. The advantage and the disadvantage of DI and PSI. First of all, tell us the meaning of DI and PSI, because you are saying they should say no to DI and they should make use of PSI.
Yeah, the reason the PSI, like I said earlier, most of the shippers we got problem with BVAC. But the reason why we can live with the frustration from BVAC is because our government is not in our interest. We complain to them at zero. So the reason why we prefer BVAC is that if I ship my container, which I prefer to do, I had a bad experience before doing a DI container. I ship a DI container under the influence of a government official once that there was so much in a rush. Ship this container, when we get to Liberia, we'll have it, will be a smooth ride, we'll get the container clear. When that container got to Liberia, they stood on the fence. I spent over $6,000 to clear that container. And this is the disadvantage. If you did a PSI container, that is pre-shipment inspection company, that BVAC can inspect your company. By right, BVAC will tell you what you're supposed to pay. By right, you go, you pay that money, your container leave from the port, you sail it straight to wherever you want to go. You want to carry the Grand Judo, you want to carry the Maryland, you want to carry the Plebo, that's your business. But when they say DI now, you take your container from here, you take it, they're going to take it to the free port, they empty it. They put everything outside. When they put it outside, then they start looking inside. They look at you, oh, the actual more sharp. My man, they can charge a man 10,000.
Wow.
If the man charge you 10,000, what can you do to someone like Samuel? He said 10,000. What can you do with somebody like that? So you understand? Now they will not tell you how you can calculate to determine the just freight, the just custom duty of any item. That's how evil the guys are. It's very simple. They're not smarter than us. If they tell us that this is their remonted to do it their way and do it their way, then do it their way. So before you get to Liberia, you already know that, oh, if I carry a 2010 car with 200,000 miles, with them on the side and this one, you understand what I'm saying? Like if I want to buy a car, I go to Cali Blue Boat right now. It will give me an idea. But when you use the Cali Blue Boat, I think you get it. Oh, my man, no, we're not here for that Cali Blue Boat thing. They go and do that only for you to be at their mindset. They want you to go, oh, my man, go talk to the chief, or give me something to go talk to the chief. These are things that brought us to where we were 20 years ago. The war. Why would we in the 20th century still be going to some human being to go appeal to them, go be begging them to pay government taxes? Why? Does it make sense? So why we kill all these people that we killed in the past 20, 30 years? Why did we kill all these people then? We say injustice, corruption, this one. And it's still worse than what it was before. Why should I be living at the mercy of somebody in government? Why? When I pay a just revenue to the Liberian government.
Now, Mr. Woods, tell us about the role of this sector, the Liberia Shippers Association, in the social and economic development of Liberia.
You see, the Shipper Association play a very important role in creating wealth for Liberians, in taking Liberians from one level to another level. You know, when I was actively involved in civil society, my advocacy was based on Liberianization. I'm a Toba man. I believe in the concept of Toba. To live Liberian from mat to mattresses, because that was his vision. To create wealth for Liberians, to give them the opportunity to work. People always say Liberians are lazy, but you are a clear witness comparing years before 1980 and years from 1980 to today, Liberians were not involved in the taxi industry. Liberians were not driving taxi. They were not in the taxi business. Liberians were not involved with a lot of things. But since 1980 onward to today, Liberians are in every aspect of business. The only reason why they have not gotten to a point is because the government is their enemy. The government of Liberia, Honor Ellen, Honor George Weah, cannot show me a millionaire that they have created, they have developed to say, yes, the government been pumping business on the Liberian man until he has become a successful businessman. All they do is to go after striving Liberian business people. Business people that are trying, business people that are creating jobs, business people that are creating wealth for themselves. All the government does is to go after them. And I can name some prominent Liberians that the government of Liberia from Castilla till today have been targeting, going after them because they are successful business people. The Ryan Hammer Jeep, the vest, they in government should be running it at the expense of the taxpayer dollars. When they were outside government, they could not afford these expensive, luxurious cars. And we've been so foolish as Liberian citizens, we sit down and keep our eyes closed. We can't talk. Liberians, when Ellen King was on 419, oh, come and put Liberian, blah, 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 blah. You had Liberian importing rest. In 2 months' time, boom, that Liberian or the group of Liberians are exporting rest or importing rest of Liberia, the other business. Because those in government want business people to continue to pump money on them. Now, I cannot. I was into that kind of business before. We go take project from the UN, other agency. Someone in government or someone said now, someone said they want 25% of our income or they want 25% net of the project cost. How you expect the Liberian man to survive? How you expect him to succeed? You go to the bank, you take loan. The bank, they got people in the bank. Now I'm seeing the president of the bank or the hurricane. They got somebody down the line there telling you if you can't give me this, you can't get that. We got to graduate from this lifestyle, my brother. If we move Liberia forward, we got to prioritize our people. We go to Ghana, we see the success of the Ghanaians. We go to Nigeria, we see the gains the Nigerians are making. We come to America, we see the gains the people are making. Why we, the Liberian people that got the same tongue with the American people, cannot succeed? Why we can't change Liberia for heaven's sake? Why? Why we can't change that country for heaven's sake?
Well, folks, if you're just joining us, this is a very special edition of ASHFORD GARLEY Live, and this is a sponsored program, and we have with us tonight Mr. Philip Woods, and Philip represents the Shapers Association of Liberia, and he's concerned. He has tried on numerous occasions to reach out to those in charge so that they can come to some type of consensus about the high tariff that they continue to pay just to get goods to Liberia. Now, Mr. Woods, again, when you ship things to Liberia, the free port benefits because you pay your taxes, and it will depend on you to ship these things before they can get some money, you know. And my question now to you is, why has it been possible for you guys to at least come together on a one voice to say, you know what, this what you're doing is not fair to all the shippers. It's not fair to those who in fact ship with us, because at the end of the day, it's the poor man that is going to suffer, because when you pay all these high tariffs, at the end of the day, you will go and sell the goods very expensive. At the end of the day, if the Duca Flare was 10, 15 bucks, it's going to shoot up to 25, 30 bucks, because you're going to pay the people that are poor just to get this in now. So, I mean, again, you still have the opportunity to reach out to Mr. Twawe, Samoa, and of course, Thomas Dolan.
Don't talk about Bill, because I'm very disappointed in Bill Twawe.
Bill is the
manager.
He's the managing director. I mean,
I'm disappointed in him, because that man, you see, I'm a person, I believe people from first sight. I saw a video clip of Bill Twawe. He paid a visit to Guinea. This guy spoke so well. He spoke so well. He expressed himself so well. He explained how he would have lifted the free port when he returned from Guinea. I was excited. I was running with the video all over to my friends there. And some of the guys are telling me, man, don't waste your time. I said, no, that man mean well. I spearheaded a meeting to meet with Bill Twagway, for Bill Twagway to meet with the Liberia shippers in the diaspora. We spent our personal money arranging the meeting with Bill Twagway when the President Weah came. My man, those guys are all playboys, they are all jokers. I don't know to think about them because sometimes I didn't want to talk because
But
we
Mr.
get out of control.
Mr.
We arranged all the meetings.
Mr.
Only for the better tell live in the time. The president told him, asked him to go back to Monrovia. You want them? You can't tell the president say there's a business community in America that we need to meet and sit and talk with. If they say they really mean well, you think if George Weah and Bill Twagway all really mean well, you think they wouldn't have changed that trip? What you're going to do to Liberia so much? They cut our meeting off. I didn't give up because our champion this meeting or to meet with it on air today that we would have been discussed with him. We were even preparing ourselves to go to Liberia and meet with the different stakeholders. But when everybody come and you talk about it, and they say, "Look, my man, the way they put a trio in Monrovia, don't waste your time. You go there, they will not regard you." And I said, one of my friends, the guy came with tears. The guy said he was so disappointed when he met Samoa. Someone introduced Samoa to him in the corridor of the LRA and said, the man from Philadelphia. You know what Samoa told the man? Oh, that Philadelphia, all the stolen cars can come from. Can you imagine a government official? And the very Samoa the other day, I listened to one of his programs. I was so pissed. The man is saying, when somebody asked him why salvage vehicles are there, the man said, oh no, if people can take the car to go knock the car. Who the hell will buy a brand new car or a nice car and go hit it because he don't want to pay taxes? I buy an expensive car to take it to I'll go beat it, boom, 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 boom. Because I don't want to pay taxes. It's because they made the taxes hard. They made it unbearable. They seen someone, man, is saying, and I'm waiting for them. The day they will come saying that cars more than 10 years can come to Liberia, then they myself will be on the radio war, everything. Because it's just stupid. But somehow in America, wherever he was, could he buy a 2014 car, the guy ran today? I told you I will be personal. Because these are the guys who will change that country around. These are the guys that God bless to come to the diaspora to make life bearable. Up to today's day, Mom Barkley stay in the village. Only the guys, these generational heads that will say, yes, these guys are the guys that saw suffering from the Tottenham era, the Toba era, but these are the guys that are making the country unbearable. They are very wicked. Very, very wicked. Now, they are not skillful. Let me tell you this. They are not skillful to create wealth for Liberia, or they depend on how they can exploit we, the Liberian people. That's what they are aiming at now to say, do DR container. So when the container gets there, you have a Hammond Jeep, they want it, they give you one heavy bill that you can't afford, you pack it at the net, and you got the car gone.
I understand your frustration, and I'm pretty sure Mr. Bill Twagway will have his version of the story. I tried calling him. I tried reaching out to him. There's several attempts, but then I was unsuccessful.
He will not answer your call.
And we'll try to reach out to them. I'm pretty sure you're going to come back again, because after we hear from them, we'll also need to hear from you again, because to me, it just doesn't make any sense. If you are taking business to Liberia, they should make it feasible for everybody, especially when the president came out and said they should, have a little.
I give up on the guy, Ashford. All the things, those guys. The only time the guy will reach out to you when they have that political agenda, and this is one of the calls I want to make to Liberian businesses or Liberian business owner. You have to be proactive. If we're not proactive, we'll just be on the fence and talking. We need to put money together to go after these guys, these evil guys in government. We need to start spending money behind to campaign against them, to make sure we can go after anyone want to be senator or representative. We must spend money to make sure we explain to the voters that these guys are not good people to represent them. And I'm not too far away from it. The reason why I'm very personal with Bill Twagway, because I made all attempt, I made all effort. I wrote Bill Twagway. I wrote him. I sent him paperwork. I did this. Wait now. Am I a government official to be doing all of this? I don't want a government job. Because if the private sector is conducive, most of us will stay in the private sector. Trust me, we'll not be looking for a government job. For me, I don't have no plan to go to government. If I know Liberia business is not good for me, right now I'm doing business in Asia. All my business I'm doing now is directed towards Asia. I'm not worried about Liberia. I'm only concerned because my people are there. But shipping to Liberia right now is not my priority. Because I know it's a losing battle. Every time you ship, my man, I got evidence to prove to you. They put take our container, they squander it. You ship a container for somebody right now, you won't pay. The man pay you because he got friends to Freeport. He would leave you here and say, "Oh, I get a Freeport, I get a Liberia, I'll pay." That man will go to Freeport, made deal to take the container from the port, and you in America, you left with $1,000 debt.
Now,
And you don't believe it? After the program, I will send you invoices of people in Liberia, people someone in government. They will tell you, "Oh, man, just ship the container when you get to Liberia, I will send the money." By the time the container get there, they go to Freeport, they make deal, they take that container off. You are left in America with a debt. And you know the point is, I don't joke with record. The record is established, it's there. You owe them. You got to pay them.
and Mr.
You
Woods,
can't take lawyer in Liberia because the lawyer too, you will just play on you at the end of the day. You put in good money or bad money.
and Mr. Woods, there are a lot of folks out there who agree with you that we don't have time in our favor, except when you want to extend the program. But before we leave, tell us the significance of the CTN, the tracking number they have, because what is the importance of the CTN when you have BVAC? Help us understand this.
Criminality at the highest extent. The CTN is criminality at the higher extent. And the reason why the guys got us is because we are not united. Liberians cannot hold together. The whole CTN thing is a 419 thing. It's criminality at the higher extent. Those guys are ripping us off. Every shipping line in this modern time has its own app. If I ship a container with merch line today, the moment I container enter the port, in fact, from the day I take the container from the port, the tracking app will tell me, I took the container this day, I brought it, I loaded it, it returned this day, it's sailing in Gambia, in Morocco, in this country, in Liberia. The CTN has no significance. It's a criminality at a higher extent. But the guys, they got up because we Liberians, we just sit down and talk, boop, 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 boop. If we were really serious, we were holding together that nonsense they're doing in Liberia, will not even work with our CTN. So I don't even want to talk about it because it's based on our stupidity that those guys are ripping us off. They cannot even show you the income from the CTN into the Liberian budget. I challenge them. I challenge Betwagbe. I challenge Samoa. I challenge Thomas Donan. Let them prove me that I'm lying, I'm wrong. Everything I have said here, and I can say it to their faces. They are not good Liberians, they are bad Liberians. They don't mean well for that country.
So what's next for the Shippers Association?
Well,
of engaging this government?
I think one thing, I'm a Liberian. I have the right to express myself. The choice is ours as Liberians to confront government, provided the government will listen. But I know one thing, they will listen, because if they don't listen, they will not have peace. We're not going to come with gun. I told George Dwyer, I said, the war we're fighting now in Liberia will be the mob war. Because if you don't do the right thing, we'll tell you that you're not doing the right thing. I'm not afraid of you. Thomas Donan, I'm a credible. Samoa, I'm a credible. Maybe I'm going to be older than one or two of them, so there's no way I can be afraid of them. All the people that are in the authority that are credible, they are the ones that are keeping us down. Only because they want to be up. But they have to be very careful. Because we saw what happened in the past. All the people that have farm, Tottenham farm, Tower farm, this farm, that farm, all the wealth, where are those farms today? Where are those farms today? Why are we going after material things and just creating problems for our children unborn? Because your children will just be useless. They will just be hopeless. You steal from poor people, oh man, we're not doing no good. I'm a living witness to it. We've seen it, we have seen it. All the people from Taylor government, all the government from the recent, our generation, from the Tower era all the way there today. All the people that are wealthy people in government, where are they today? Where are the children today? Those who did stealing, I don't know who did good, so many that children going good and what have you. But all the ones that stole, that ripped the poor people off, you can't see nothing. Vanity is vanity. Stop stealing. Let's change Liberia around. The country is very small. We have a very good relationship with America. Let's come and take some connection from this place and take it back to our country and change our environment and change our community. Why would Liberia be the poorest country? We just fight them outside every day. Nothing good can come from us. Why would we have the Freeport of Monrovia today is the enemy of the state? Why would we have APN be charging for $72 a day? Between last year and today's date, they had auctioned, they had divided over 500 containers of Liberian shippers.
Foreign business people getting people money at the end of the day, they're stepping up. The foreign business people say we're taking out other business because we send barrels with cosmetic and other things. When ECOMO were in Liberia, when they were taking all our people's televisions and TV and internet from West Point, where were these people today? We're taking all the OOTV and send it back to our people so that life can change for them and be converted to old mattress. They're adding all kind of tariff and taxes on it. Why? Why would they be so wicked? It's not right.
So the only thing you can do now is just keep making noise until they can finally listen to you. Is that
well, for me, I express myself. The other people want to sit on the fence of our business. I'm not directing business to Liberia anymore. I do my business in Cambodia and other places. Those places want to send my thing, I get my money. I ain't got no problem. No problem. I send a Sierra Leone, I got no problem. I send a Guinea, I got no problem. Only Liberia will go there with film.
Again, Mr. Philip, we want to say a big thank you to you. We'll continue to make contact with the managing director of the National Port Authority, and of course the LRA, and of course the customs. Just before we take leave of you, Mr. Woods, your last comment, the final word.
Well, my last comment here is for Liberians to hold together. We have to respect each other. We have to put our citizens first in everything we do. You might not be rich, but when people respect you, you are an honorable person. Trust me. The Congo man, or sorry for there's a saying that says good name is better than bad name. Good name is better than. We saw it with evidence that people that were good, they went in the war, they sailed through the war. Some people like, oh, you Mr. Garley's son, oh yeah, my man, count this out. Oh, you that person, brother. Oh, count this. You understand what I'm saying? We have to graduate. We saw the war. I think most of the guys that are in government today were probably not in Liberia during the war. So that's why they're doing the bullshit they're doing, the crazy that they are doing. Because why? 4 million people, less than 5 million people in Liberia, and we can graduate with all the good relationship Liberia got with China, with all the countries. We can lift our people up a bit. We can. Our people say Lena on Mac. Look at the craziness. We got hydro in Liberia. Our people can get electricity. You want to tell me if the government was so much involved in building capacity, you want them they can say diaspora Liberians, y'all import electric wire and meter to this country so can what they call? You want them they can do it, but because they want foreign people to do it so they can get a back kicks. Man, it's a shame on the government job. We are a whole group.
Well, again, 1 hour is not enough. So next time you're gonna come with the Shippers Association, because I just saw some shippers calling in that already have a number and we don't have the time. So we're gonna reschedule something. In the meantime, I'm gonna make contact with Mr. Bill Twaway to see what he has to say as well. Okay.
Well, I hope we listen to you. I hope we come to your call. But my message to those in this government now, we will mobilize Liberian business people who mean well. We'll put money together to campaign against you. Anywhere you go with your campaign, as soon as you leave from there, we'll come there and tell people you're not good people. And we'll display evidence that you're not good. I will be the champion for that call. Every government official from Bill Twagway down to whoever that I know that is connected with something that has to do with me to bring me down. I will find that money. It will cost me to work. I will take all my reasons. Anywhere Bill Twagway go campaign, I will go there and tell people he's not a good man. I will show them evidence. Because that's the only way someone will learn. Yeah, because we just sit down, we lean back, and you guys just go and rhyme us. The man is saying, people bring, how you be custom commissioner? Then you say they both bring expensive car. Then they want to pay government tax and they want to sell it 10,000. Are your business? You want working government can't be a businessman. I can buy my car, take my time, I sleep at night in America doing 3-4 jobs. I can't sleep. Then I take some to the Liberia. Then you expect me to make profit. If you want to make profit like me, go into the private sector. Don't be in government, be antagonizing people. You are a government official, sir, Samoa. Those people they myself, we've been down the route before they know. I'm not going to go the route with them, writing down and be bullshitting and whatever kind of stuff. If they mean business, let them come to the public and correct the wrong. That's my last message to them. Other than that, we will mobilize business people that will go after them.
Okay. Again, this is your home. Tell the rest of the shippers that maybe you can plan something to come back, but we'll make contact with Mr. Twaway and the rest of the folks who are responsible for this. Thank you so much for taking up time.
Thank you for the opportunity, Ashford.
Okay, we want to go back to information high with Mrs. Letty Brooks Roberts. to give us. Perhaps you can just read some of these comments up there before she give us her parting comment. Mrs. Roberts.
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Garley. How
Okay.
are you?
We didn't hear you from the beginning of the show. Maybe you were running late.
Yes, okay.
Just read
So
about
we
three
have
comments and then we
Candace,
can call it a night. With the parting comment.
we have Sarah Putuway. She said, Mr. Wood, I am a witness because of good name. That is the reason why my okay, this is going too fast. That is the reason why my family and I are alive today. Brother, love you. Alfred Anderson. Hi, Giant. It's serious issue. Johnson Tojuti says, go on. What? Boca show, please. And Alexander Johnson says, I am with you, brother. Christopher Kamara says, the problem for Liberia is Liberians. We Liberians are witches. Ruth Gordon says, come on. I mean, some of them were small to remember when their parents had to go under bullets to find food for them to survive. Those are the few trending comments. But in closing, Mr. Garley, this is really a serious issue, and I have also experienced issues with the shipping. And yes, they do take your stuff, whether it's even for taxes or whatever fees, but even there are things coming out of your packages that are not that were not supposed to be missing. So we want to applaud the brother for coming out and speaking out, and this is how we're going to help to fix our country. Even though people say we talk, but how else? What can you do? The world has to know. Other people need to hear this. Liberia flies more maritime flags. Other countries are paying into our economy, and the money is not being seen. That's corruption at its highest. Thank you. Have a great weekend. It's always a pleasure.
And then
Bring
on
your
Monday,
stories to Bridge Radio if you want them heard.
that's right. On Monday, we're gonna play host to the Professor Alari Tokpa. He's our special guest on Monday night. The Professor Alari Tokpa will be in our Bridge Radio Africa studios, and he will be telling us a lot of things. So you might just want to plan to listen as well. Then on Tuesday, we'll play host to Mr. Mo Ali. Mo Ali is with the Unity Party. He wants to be the Secretary General of the Unity Party. He will also be in our studios on Tuesday as well. Folks, with that said, that's all the time I have to be with you. God willing, we'll catch you Monday night, same time, same place. Until then, please allow me to borrow the wordings of the wise man. Tough times don't last, tough people do. The height of a man is never known until he rises, and there's no second chance to make that first impression. This has been yours truly, the medicine of the microphone, the golden voice of Liberia, Ashford the Giant. Just to get Zeban Blood and I just call me on G. Wouldn't know the one you bad double to Jai Adwapo, Boro Bly, call your Boro say that now you know me, call it. Have a good night.